Okay, so now what?
Now you can start your intro.
Oh, just start it?
I mean, unless you want to, like,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, do you have anything you want to do beforehand?
No, I'm gonna just fly by the seat of my pants on this.
All right, cool.
So, we fade in to soft snowflakes.
Okay, what are...
drifting in the air and landing beautifully on a picturesque landscape. There's bells jingling and the soft chime of reindeers' hoofs hitting the ground from a nice, pleasant flight in the air.
Okay.
And your favorite Christmas song is playing because you know what? We can do this now. We can listen to this stuff and not feel guilty. You can play it and not feel like someone's gonna judge you because it is Christmas music time.
Okay, so this is guilt about the time of the year, it being seasonally inappropriate, not guilt about copyright law and me getting a DMCA takedown notice.
If I could, listener, I would be playing you Michael Bublé's Christmas album. That would be the episode. We would just be listening to his Christmas album, the first Christmas album.
It would probably be better.
I'm not sure if there's a second Christmas album, but I know there's a first Christmas album, and it is wonderful. Time to listen to that on repeat.
Yeah, nice.
Also,
okay, yep.
You said that I could do all the talking.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Go for it.
Okay. Just saying, listener, he did say that I could do this, and that's his own fault.
I'm just gonna sit here drinking my mead. You go for it.
Yeah, you do that. So, we're in this picturesque Christmas winter wonderland, and I feel like we should have a little detour and go into Leslie's past and learn a bit more about her, because why not? So, if you don't remember because you haven't been paying attention or you've been waiting months and months and months to finish the rest of Leslie's arc. So she's a librarian.
Yeah. This
is important for the story I'm about to tell, okay? If you don't know this, then the joke's not gonna land. Okay, so she's a librarian, but she's also really cheery and cheerful. And Christmas is obviously her favorite time of the year because why wouldn't it be? Mm-hmm. So she would spend her Saturdays and Sundays at the local, well, I don't even know if they have malls in this fantasy world that you've created, Ty, but I'm going to say in the shopping center, the shopping square, dressed up as a Santa Claus because she can be Santa Claus. We're in 2020. A woman can be Santa Claus. So chill out, everyone. Okay. So Leslie's Santa Claus and she is handing out presents to the kids. But she's Leslie, so they're books.
Okay.
That's a joke. That's where you laugh. Okay, so she's handing out books. Don't make me come over there and punch you, Ty.
Okay. All right.
So she's handing out books, and there's this one little girl who's coming and to see her, and she just wants, a fantasy book. Just wants a fantasy book. But Leslie decides, you know what? I'm gonna give you a geometry book. Maybe because she's out of fantasy books, I don't know, those things go fast, or maybe because they live in a fantasy world and that would just be historical fiction? I don't know. So she hands this little girl a geometry book. And the little girl is crestfallen. She's so sad. Okay. She's like, WTF, Santa, what the fuck is this? And Leslie is basically like, no, it's fine. And the kid is crying because that's what kids do when they don't get what they want. They cry sometimes. Not all kids, but some kids. And so then Leslie decides, you know what? This is a teachable moment. So she stands up on her chair, she addresses the entire square and goes into impassioned speech about why we don't have enough women in STEM. And the audience tears up. People drop what they're doing. They look at her and they say, yeah, you're right. We need to address this. The little girl feels, impassioned. She's ready to go. She's like, yes, thank you. I'm going to be a mathematician. And then another girl runs up and she's like, I'm going to be a doctor. And someone else says, I'm going to be an engineer. And then another one says, I'm going to be a clinical
psychologist.
And that one's my favorite. Anyway, then Leslie gives all of them science textbooks, and that's the story. Oh, and Feather wasn't there because this was pre-Feather, but if Feather was there, Feather would be an elf.
Okay.
That's my story. We can start with the show now.
Well, listener, I hope you had a great time with that, because I think that's the closest thing that this show has ever had to a Christmas special so far. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Well, okay. So last time I don't know. So this is side character quest.
Oh, I didn't say that part, did I?
No, you didn't. This is side character
quest. I just
quest.
assumed it was Leslie's show, so I just started with that. Yeah. This is the Leslie show.
This is side character quest. Last time on side character quest, do you want me to do the recap, or do you want to do this?
I will. So, the recap is Derrim has been doing some shady shit, which honestly is probably a surprise to no one except for Leslie, because she just wants to see the good in everyone. He was trying to build himself a taxidermy army because Ty clearly didn't get enough spooky movies in his life and decided he wanted to bring it to the show. Listener, I know sometimes we crack a lot of jokes in this show and you think that this is like a warm, fuzzy family production, but just think for a minute. How would you feel if you saw a taxidermy soldier coming at you with a big old sword? Yeah, you'd probably shit your pants. So, anyway, he made my poor little librarian character fight this thing.
Yeah.
And also Tukkar was there and was really helpful, and that was great. And they basically told Derrim, you're being dumb, and we're going to take you to Professor Tukkar so he can give you a timeout.
Sounds pretty good. I think you hit it all. Do you want to go into the show?
Sure.
All right. Let's fade in. Welcome back to the lighthouse. We see Derrim. He has his hands bound and his legs splinted, and he's sitting in the center of the room at the foot of the spiraling metal staircase that leads up to the bright beacon above. We see Professor Tukkar, who's looking away from Derrim, standing across the room next to the boxed books that are destined to seed your new library. Tukkar, meanwhile, is staring at Derrim unblinkingly, with her imposing frame leaning against the wall next to the doorway into the main chamber of the lighthouse. And you can just barely hear the wind that is whipping on the other side of the walls, as well as the rattle of the radiator in the corner. Let me ask, did you explain everything that happened to Professor Tukkar already?
Oh yeah, I'm sure Leslie did, really rapidly and all in the same breath.
Okay. I don't know. Derrim, what were you thinking? How could you... He is very flustered. He has taken his multicolored glasses off, and he's just sort of wiping them on his tweed jacket. I don't know. How am I supposed to process this? What were you thinking? Like I told her, I am trying to protect this city, and if that means dipping my toe into, some questionable stuff, that's all right. You need to be on my side here. Don't you want what's best for everybody, right? What are you doing right now?
Leslie's probably just standing back and letting Professor Tukkar. I mean, because Professor Tukkar knows Derrim more, so I think she wouldn't try to impose. I mean, this is also a little bit of the city's business, and she's a incomer, so I think she would be letting, and unless she's spoken to and asked questions directly, I think she's gonna let them talk. Okay. Because she's respectful.
She's respectful. And let me say, what is the point? Why this? And he holds out his hands, which have been tied up, And as he's doing that, Tukkar, leaning, against the wall, sort of behind you, you hear her go,
"Oh, stay on."
Where's Jer in all this?
Jer, you see him just sort of standing there with his like blue giraffe
How
self.
come Derrim doesn't get a riddle?
When you guys came barging in, Jer tried to give a riddle to Derrim, and Tukkar just stared him down very hard, and Jer just kind of like disappeared. But Jer is kind of just kind of like flitting around the room. Every once in a while, he'll just sort of do that weird evaporation thing where he becomes ethereal and then like moves to a different side of the room. But he's doing it kind of to avoid, you kind of like get the vibe that he's doing it to avoid attention. So like wherever, if anybody ever starts, if the room ever starts looking vaguely towards his direction, he becomes ethereal and moves off to a part of the room that he is not in. Doesn't seem to like the sort of aggressive tone that's in the room right now, the tension that's in the room.
Derrim, listen, we've had our differences, but this is beyond the pale, all right? I'm gonna have to take you in front of the peak, or somebody's you're gonna have to answer for this. You understand? This is a gross misuse of your duties. I don't approve. I wasn't doing this for approval. I was doing this to... God damn it. He just looks, he sort of bangs his fist against the metal staircase and looks just very frustrated. As that happens, you hear a tea kettle whistling in the other room.
Oh, that would be the tea. I'm gonna go get that.
Yeah, so you
in my newly British accent.
Wait,
if you make this switch right now, that'd be very funny.
Cheerio.
So you step out of the room and go down the hall and enter that side little pantry / kitchen space that you see like this tea kettle boiling, whistling, and you see several pots that are like set, or pots and like teacups set out for you.
I guess I make some tea.
Okay. So you head back into the room, and with this tea, and do you just offer it to everybody?
Of course.
Okay. Tukkar takes a big mug of the tea and it immediately starts drinking it, even though it's still pretty hot. You walk over to Professor Tukkar and...
Oh, thanks. I just need to calm my nerves a little. Ugh.
And starts sipping on it. And Derrim, meanwhile, as you walk over to him and he's still sort of sitting, still with his hands bound.
I don't feel like it. Thanks.
Suit yourself.
You're sticking with the Brit. And you start drinking the tea as well?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So I kind of imagine that as this is going on, there's some back and forth between the professor and Derrim for a while, and it just starts to boil down to them yelling at each other, and they're just getting heated until eventually Professor Tukkar sits down at his desk and puts his head in his hands and just is like, oh. And I would like you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Did you poison the tea?
I didn't poison anything.
Did not poison the tea.
Listen, I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
That was mean. You should have let me do a a check, like earlier.
I was trying to be suspicious when I was asking you about.
I had a feeling when I was like, why is he making me do this whole tea thing? Like that seems like what's I had a feeling. I should have known. Okay, I roll this one, right?
Yes. Yeah, how do?
7.
7. Okay. You are feeling, as you're watching all of this, you just start to get this feeling of it just seems boring And like it's just not grabbing your attention at first. You're just like, as much as you're trying to pay attention to the words they're saying, you just kind of feel like Professor Tucker just seems to be repeating himself. Derrim seems to be just getting more and more angry and just annoying, and you're just getting kind of just sleepy. And as you're getting tired, what do you do? I'm gonna roll the dice real quick.
I don't know. I think I would just stand there and be tired. It's not any different than my normal life. So
you start to get this feeling you can't stand anymore. Your legs are just getting feeling lazy, feeling loose, and you start to wobble.
Okay, I guess I sit down.
You sit down to there's this big pile of pillows in the room, and you drop down onto these pillows kind of harder than you intend to. Like, as soon as you start to crouch to sit down on these, your legs just give out, more so than your mind feels a little foggy, but your body feels just dead, right? And you look over, and as you're feeling this, as this is registering in your mind as a little abnormal, you look over towards Professor Tucker, and his hands have slipped out from under his head, and he has just flopped down onto the desk. What's wrong with? What are you guys doing? What's going on here? And right as that happens, right as he says that, you hear 3 bop, bop, bop knocks on the door.
Well, Leslie isn't obviously going to answer that. She can barely move.
You see the door slowly push open, and you see a green dragonborn face pop into the room.
I told you it was not.
Mm-hmm.
What did I say? What did I say? I said it. I called it.
Hello, everybody. I see everybody's having a nice tea. Lovely. And as he does that, you see Jer pop up and form right in front of him. Excuse me, sir, but if you want to enter here, and not just punts him in the air, Jer becomes ethereal and pops somewhere else. But then he reforms and looks very unsettled by being kicked across the room. Sorry about that. You startled me, little friend. How's everyone doing? You can talk right now.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Well, under her breath, Leslie is I'm going to switch back to her original accent because I don't think I could keep the British one up. But,
okay.
Come on, girl. Just get yourself together. Get yourself together. Come on. Get it. And I try to push myself up, but obviously I can't. So instead I kind of just swivel my head around and glare at Nott and says, "You did this, didn't you?"
I admit it was me. I hope you enjoyed the tea. He is bowing to you, and then he looks around the room. I can see that he really enjoyed it, pointing towards the professor. But I am not here for you. I am not here for your professor here, or whoever this is, pointing towards Derrim, who looks just terrified. His eyes are just bulging out of his head, but he can't really get up because of the broken leg. With a flourish, Nott turns around and points his hand over towards Tucker. I am not here for any of you. I am just here for your new friend.
Oh, no, you don't, you slimy, swarmy person.
No. See, you do not understand. You and I, we have similar goals. Or rather, we work for the same organization. So if you have a problem with me or with my methods, you can bring it up with the boss.
Leslie's just looks shocked. She's like, what are you talking about?
But in the meantime, I have...
Ty, you might want to clarify that it's Hisalda, because I don't
Yes.
think that Leslie would know, even though we all know.
You can ask, like, what you mean.
Okay. What do you mean?
Well, of course, myself, you, and the professor here are working at the behest of my patron, Hosalda. When I reported to her about your brief run-in, and it was assuring her that you were perfectly safe, that you were, that no harm had come to you or to her plans, she was quite taken with the idea of a orc suddenly showing up in Mount Rena, and she told me that was the highest priority.
Leslie is just so betrayed right now, just shocked.
And it's so rare that Rosalda tells me that I must do something at all costs. You know, normally she says be discreet, try to charm your way first, try to sneak, try to just play the fool, something like that. But no, today she says not, and this is the first time you've heard of his name, by the way. What you need to do is get this orc at all costs. Nothing stands in your way. You bring this woman to me, no matter what. And I've got to say, it is thrilling to be able to do whatever. Like it doesn't matter. Like, I can just go up to this man here, and he like walks up to Derrim, and he rears back his foot as if he's going to kick Durham's broken leg. I could just do this if I wanted. Doesn't matter. I have full freedom to act however I want. It's so lovely. Roll me a Constitution check again. I feel like you are looking like you want to do something. I want you to tell me what you want to do, and then I'm going to have you roll a Constitution saving throw to see if you can power through.
I think Leslie is gonna want to fight this guy. He's a right asshole, and I think that Leslie is gonna feel compelled to help protect her new friend, and is gonna want to do something about that. I can't see her not. I mean, this is exactly the instance in which Leslie would go into battle to save someone else.
So looking behind you, you see over at the wall, Tukkar has slid down and is just sort of leaning against the wall and just has this look of fierce concentration on her face. I want you to tell me what it is that you are going to do.
Either the fireball, or I still have the glove, and I haven't fully figured out, or did I figure out everything that it did? I can't remember.
You figured out the stuff that did, and it's the attack that it has is contact. Oh, okay. So you would have to get him to come to you. Okay. The firebolt is ranged.
Okay, so then I think that tattoo thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Haha. So that's 20, because it's 15 plus 5, and then if I have another 2 to that, which I don't know where that 2 comes from, but yeah.
Shit. Yeah, that totally hits. Roll me 1d10.
2.
Boy. So holding out your hand, well, tell me what it looks like.
I forgot a little bit how I described it before. I feel like you would remember most recently how it looked, but the same as it did last time. So if you want to just describe that.
Okay, so you hold out your arm, and as you do, your sweater, which is the sleeves of which are a little loose, it slips down a little bit, showing the markings, the tattoos that you have around your arm. It glows with a fiery light, and then just this burst of fire erupts from your skin, briefly forming the shape of a wolf that bursts towards Not, who gets hit and stumbles back, but it's more of the shock of the matter that makes him, that just sort of throws him off, rather than the actual damage itself. He has to tamp out the fires that are starting to burn on his clothes. He can see that you can barely move still. I wouldn't try that again if I was you. And right as he's saying that, he just gets slammed by Tukkar, who has unbeknownst to you guys, passed their Constitution saving throw earlier and was just pretending to have taken, and had just been pretending to have taken ill because of these. Yeah. And had just been pretending to. I did that 3 times. Just been pretending to.
Get sick.
Get sick. Thank you. And real quick, gonna do a strength v dexterity. Tucker got a 20, and as Not is trying to wriggle away, 19, 18. Very, very fucking close. You see Tucker has gotten to slam Not against the ground, and they are on the ground next to Derrim, who is just sort of like wriggling away.
Can I cast Mage Hand and use it to cover Not's eyes so we can't see?
Oh, sure, yeah. So yeah, you do that, causing a little bit more confusion for them.
Give me that.
And Tucker grabs Durham's arms and just very quickly unties the ropes hog tying him. What's the word I want?
Binding.
Yes, thank you. Unties the ropes that are binding his arms and transfers that over to Not. Basically, hog ties Not.
His name's Not. Kinda not.
Okay, yeah, I hadn't. Oh man, that is accurate. And you now see him bound to the floor. I'm gonna do a quick, I guess it'll be like survival, just to see how well he binds him.
I have the Mage Hand, which can help.
Yes. Oh boy. So that's going to give Not disadvantage, which is great because his first roll was a natural 20 and his second roll was a 7. So Not is not able to wriggle out of these binds, and now you have fully capable Tucker standing above them, the wounded Derrim standing, or just sort of like laying on the ground next to him. You who are you feel your body starting to come back into your own, and then Professor Tucker over by his desk, completely just like out of it.
Okay, see here, Not, if that's your name, I want you to tell me what our boss, as you call her, what it is that she really wants, because I smell a fish in here. It smells up a fish in here.
Why should I tell you anything?
You're tied up. You're my prisoner. That's the rule.
As you say that, Tucker just kind of like leans over him very intimidatingly. And I want you to roll me a intimidation check with advantage.
4.
Even with advantage?
Oh,
Jesus Christ. Okay.
that's better. 15.
Okay. And Not knows better than to not answer this. What did you ask specifically?
What's going on with Husalda? Like, what does she really want?
Sorry, noise outside. What Husalda wants is knowledge. Because knowledge is power. I mean, for hundreds of years, no one's seen an orc. They might as well be myth, and then all of a sudden one shows up and this close to the wall. Now that can't be a coincidence. So whatever Husalda can learn from this woman, well...
Okay. Leslie's eyes narrow. She's like, you're not telling me everything. I don't want to know just what is going on now that she wants. I want to know the truth.
Listen, I'm no zealot here. Husalda gives me money, she gives me fun chores to do, she gives me nice toys, but you're going to have to be a little more specific.
Why'd she hire me?
I see, okay. By the way, right now he is sort of adopted a even though he is like still bound and still on the ground, he is not shrinking away. The more he talks, the more his, chest widens, head lifts up. He's making like full eye contact, smiling, just does not seem perturbed in the least. Like you feel
so
like
a psychopath.
Huh? Yeah. He just feels like you were talking to a guy like across, in a tea shop, just having a nice time.
Yeah, super high on narcissistic PD. Gotcha. Continue.
Exactly. With what she wants with you, well, think about it. Who comes to the library?
People who want to learn?
Exactly. People who want to learn. And who lives in the Three Brothers Mountains, where you wanted to set up a library?
People?
Exactly. People that nobody cares about. People who have never been given a chance to learn. And people who may have untapped talent and untapped knowledge. And as soon as a library pops up in this place, every up-and-coming wizard, arithmancer, necromancer, druid, anyone who has any ounce, any iota of talent is going to come flocking to you. And then all Hosolda has to do is come pay a little visit to her new grantee and say, oh, who's the fresh new face in town? Who's that up-and-coming young wizard that you see so much promise in? And then she has pick of the litter.
Oh, how do you turn this dream of mine into something so dirty and twisted?
Well, it takes basically what we do.
That wasn't a question I wanted you to answer. Now shush your face.
I have a full. We have a document diagram.
That face.
Okay.
I stand over and I'm like slowly trying to get up, and I take a pillow and I throw it at him.
Yeah, the pillow slams against his face and just like bounces off, and he's just kind of smiling. So let me ask, little wizard, little librarian, little bookkeeper.
So patronizing, Jesus Ty, you have made a despicable character.
What do you plan to do with me after we leave here? Because I have seen what you did to your friend here, and he sort of points his chin towards Tukkar. I saw what you did when she was in a blind fury trying to kill you with that massive rusted blade of hers. You, madam, had no concern, not even cross your mind that you might harm her. And she was trying to take your life. And now here I am, bound and helpless. And am I really supposed to feel threatened by you? Am I really supposed to feel like there's anything you're going to do to me?
Okay,
No.
shush your face, I'm trying to think now.
Okay. You go ahead and think.
Professor Tucker, do you have tape?
You look over. Professor Tucker is like kind of.
Do you have duct tape?
He is drooling on the desk, and Jer sort of like shouts from across the other side of the room and says, "I think I might have something like a sock or something. Just one moment," and then just whoosh, and disappears, becomes ethereal, then slips out towards the hallway.
Okay, does he reappear with the sock? Because I really want. I'm shoving something. I'm
Yeah.
shutting this guy up now.
He reappears in a moment with the sock.
I take it and I shove it in Knott's mouth. And I'm like, okay, I need to think.
I shoved a rug in my mouth and did that. A blanket. A rug would be gross.
Okay, anyway. So I'm like, okay, I need to think. Everybody, quiet.
Okay.
So Leslie just closes her eyes and she goes into her mind palace because I've decided she has one of these now because why not?
Yeah, why not?
So in her mind palace, she's imagining a white table.
Yeah.
And on this white table, all the pieces are like floating, and she's imagining them landing together to form a complete puzzle.
Okay.
So and that's her mind palace. And so she's got the pieces of Tucker And that's shining the brightest. And Tukkar is this friend of hers who is in danger and who she knows that if Not's not going to be the only one who is going to have issues with Tukkar, and that, even if she took Tukkar back to Cirque, Tukkar wouldn't be safe. And then also thinking about how Tukkar is lost and doesn't know why she's here and might have family that's missing her, and that she promised she was going to help Tukkar. And then she has this other puzzle piece, which is Hasalda and everything being a lie, and this fear that she could, be unwittingly helping this person take advantage of unsuspecting young people, or old people. Anyone could learn. Anyways, taking advantage of people. And so there's this hurt and this guilt and this sadness. And then there's Not, which is I don't want to kill this person, but also this is I have never felt this hatred for anyone as strongly in my entire life. And I have this deep darkness inside of me that has started to grow in Leslie, in which she's maybe I could kill him. Maybe that would be all right.
Oh, I love it.
And so
I
she's
hate
weighing
it, but I love it.
weighing these pieces. And then they click into place. She opens her eyes.
I really didn't expect you to have I'm really interested. Okay.
Okay. I know what we have to do. Tukkar,
Yeah.
we're taking you home. And Not, you're coming with us.
Wait, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
I don't know what to say to this. I feel that that's where this episode's gonna end, right? Because we're gonna have to. Oh my god. I
weren't expecting that, huh?
No. I have no words.
I made Ty speechless, everyone. Ty speechless.
We see miles and miles and miles away, not too far, maybe only a few blocks from where this journey began, an old woman sitting down to write a letter in her apartment in the city on the Cirque. We see as she seals that letter to one Professor Tukkar. And this letter reminisced about her time at the lighthouse and how he helped her and how she feels that she is so close. They are so close. And Hosalda has assured her that it won't be that much longer before they're able to find a solution. And we see as she heads out to the local post office and drops her letter off.
Thank you, Professor. I'm so glad to be home, and I hope one day I'll remember why I left. Signed, with love, Alberta.
All right, so I think we might have a little small hopefully unedited, God, if I can just let myself not edit something, unedited chat about this arc after the credits. But now I think we should just wrap things up. Do you want to plug anything as we head out before we pitter-patter on out of here?
Take care of your mental health.
Take care of your mental health, guys. Just do that. Also, if you've enjoyed the show, how about you post a review? Tell your friends about it. Have a great time. All right.
Oh, and you can post your ideas about Feather's adventures. So
Yes.
if you have any short
God, if we can get some fan fiction, some Feather fiction.
Yes, Feather fiction.
And also, I really need you to remember that Feather this whole time has been wearing a cloak made out of a sleeve from a what's the word? Cushion cover? Pillow cover? Pillowcase. Yeah, I just need you to remember that because it brings me joy when I remember that. All right. Let's go ahead and pitter patter out on here. Pitter patter on out of here.
Or not pitter patter on out of here. Frolic in the snow.
Frolic. Jingle. Oh wait, no, fuck. Jingle jangle. Let's go ahead and jingle jangle on out of here.
No, we can't do jingle jangle because that's a thing in the TV show Riverdale. It's like a drug.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wait, when have you watched? Okay, I don't know. This is not important. This is all bloopers. Thanks to the Joy Drops for the use of Not Drunk as our intro and outro music. Find them at thejoydrops.com. You can find us at sidecharacterquest.com, at SCQ Podcast on Twitter, or by email at sidecharacterquest@gmail.com.
The Scavengers Network.
Creator driven,
Community focused.
Treasured content.
Do you wish your life was a little more spooky?
Hi, everybody. My name is Jordan Reed.
And I'm Lindsay Reed.
And this is Spooky Spouses, a podcast about ghosts and stuff.
Tall tales.
If you ever want to find out if a psychic is real or not, commit a crime and then go to them and ask about the crime.
Cryptid technology.
That's why we can't find Bigfoot, because they don't have trackers. They don't have these apps that are like, here I am, going to the ice cream store later.
Scary stories.
You know what you're going to do?
What?
Crap your pants.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Numbers in general.
I just hear or see numbers and my brain shuts off.
You can find brand new episodes of Spooky Spouses every week wherever you get your podcasts. Excuse me, part of the Scavengers Network.
Yay! We did it! Oh wait, we're not totally done yet.
Oh.
We're missing an important character.
Who have we not? Oh, Feather. We
have to check in with Feather.
Yeah, how has Feather been doing this whole time?
We can't end this arc without a little sidebar into Feather and Feather's situation.
What has Feather been doing this whole time?
So I think that Feather...
I cannot imagine she was in the room when that was happening, was she?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Feather was taking a nap. Because Feather had a long day of dealing with taxidermy monsters.
Oh, yeah.
And so Feather was taking a nap. So, Feather's napping and Feather's having dreams. And Feather is having a wonderful dream in which there's snow and jingle bells and cheer and hot chocolate. And Feather's like, I don't think I was born when there was Christmas, but there's something in the air. This Christmas thing. I feel like this is something that calls to me. And Feather wakes up and knows that the Christmas cheer is here. I wish we had like a little tiny like mini cartoon we could do of just Feather just like and then there's like a little thought bubble, and then there's like sugar plums and candy canes and like people building snowmen, and then it's like, do you want to build a snowman?
Well, one thing I want to add real quick, just because I'm going to insert this. I'm going to insert this at the in an earlier bit.
Signed, with love, Alberta.
Knew it.
I feel like that wasn't clear, and I wanted that to be clear. I meant to include her name.
Though.
Okay.
I knew it.
Okay, cool.
I knew that was her. So
Cool.
I knew it.
All right.
Just so you know, I knew it.
Okay. So normally at the end of the finale, I go ahead and we can discuss a little bit of stuff. Do you have any questions or thoughts or comments about this arc? Anything about your experience?
I think that, we've learned a lot, in my opinion, at least a little bit more about Usalda, and that she's definitely a puppet master, and has got her hands in lots of pots. And the fact that she's got a connection to, what's her face from Deirdre's arc?
Alberta,
that's worrisome. But then also I feel like we must have a time jump, right? Because Alberta, did Alberta just get back to Cirque?
Yeah, I think this is the implication of that final scene was that Alberta, when she made it through the wall at the end of Deirdre's arc, the first thing she found was the lighthouse. That is what the lighthouse is for. It's supposed to be for people that are traveling around in the snowy areas around Mount Rena. It gives them something to head towards, some sort of beacon of civilization. So Professor Tukkar found her, having presumably been walking through a blizzard. They got to know each other over the course of a few months, and then he sent her to Hosalda to work on her memory issues.
Interesting.
And I feel like I described that in a very confusing way, but you seem to understand what I'm saying. So hopefully listeners will as well. And I'm not going to try to rephrase. If they don't understand it, then we can clarify things in a side character questions episode at some point.
Okay. Interesting. You made not horrendous.
Yeah, I was not expecting.
When you listen back to this, Ty, you are gonna be like, Jesus, what is that?
Yeah.
I don't think, maybe I'm misremembering other characters from other parts of the show. I don't think you've created a more despicable character on this show.
Well, all I can say is hold on tight.
Oh geez.
Bleep.
Arc. Is there gonna be someone worse?
First of all, bleep, because that has not been whose arc that is going to be has not been announced yet. But there's somebody that I think has the running, is in the running.
In their arc or in a past arc?
You will find out things about someone at some point in an upcoming arc that I don't know if it's going to be worse than Not was in this arc, but it's definitely going to be in the running.
Fine.
Yeah. So what did you expect for this before we started? Because we started recording this about a year ago.
No, we didn't.
Hey, it's been a hell of a year. No, we first recorded in December. So that's 11 months ago.
Did we?
Yeah, but we remember because we recorded 30 minutes and then we completely lost your half of the audio. And so then we had to re-record the first episode.
I thought we didn't start it until this year.
Maybe that would happen in January. I'm pretty sure it happened in December, but maybe it happened in January. Regardless, how were there any things about Leslie that you wanted to get to that we never touched on?
No, I mean, I feel like we got a good sense of Leslie. I guess maybe I was thinking we'd do more stuff with her in a library, but now that doesn't make sense. No, I mean, I think that it's I don't think I had any expectations really going in.
Gotcha. Okay. I think that worked out for the best. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I want to ask you or say to you about things. Okay, first of all, Feather was never planned to be a part of this character. I love Feather. That's great.
It's the best character on the show.
I think I might have cut some of this, but there's always like parts where you would be like, "Oh, is Feather okay?" And it's like, Sam, I'm never gonna hurt Feather. Feather is my soul. Don't you even worry about that.
That's why Feather was safely upstairs dreaming about sugar plums and candy canes while battle ensued.
Yep. I don't think I have anything else to say. If you don't have anything
You're
to
not
ask,
surprised about my choice at the end.
Oh, sorry. Fuck. Yeah, I have to comment on that. Okay, so I thought that it was very, very possible that you would go through, that you would want to like take Tukkar with you to go do that. I also thought it was possible that, oh Jesus, there were so many ways that I thought this was potentially going to go. I thought that it was possible that you and Tukkar were going to flee and you were going to flee to the wall. I also thought it was possible that somehow you were going to put Not out of commission somehow, and were then going to go try to deal with Hosalva in some way, like not payback, but like figure out what she was doing or whatever. I also thought it was possible, depending on how things went, that Derrim would end up going with Not instead of Tukkar. I thought that was a possibility. There were a lot of ways that I thought this was going to go. It never in a million years crossed my mind that you were going to take Not with you as like a captive through the wall. That never crossed my mind. Never. That was crazy to me. I blown away.
But it makes sense,
no,
right?
It makes perfect sense. And Sam, I am so glad that we probably won't be recording a follow-up for Leslie for a while, because I have no idea what to do with this. I have no idea what to do with this, and I'm going to have to spend a while thinking about it. I am like...
Well, I'm glad I could pose you with a challenge.
I really, really like it. It just makes no sense to me, and I it makes sense. I get why you did it, and I think that it makes perfect sense for the character. But I just don't know what to do with it, and I love that I don't know what to do with it. It's great. Oh, Jesus Christ. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this challenge. All right, you're putting your dice against your face, so I think that it's about time for us to wrap up. All right. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Chai.
All right, I'm going to hit the stop button.
Okay, me too.
All right.
This is just going to all just be bloop stuff.
All right, let's do the sync up. 1.
4.
Okay. 5.
Jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to be in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! One thing, Ty, you can cut this out when you actually edit it, but when you edit it, can you have like the sound of like jingle bells in the beginning? Snow. I don't know what snow sounds like.
I'm thinking that like I can easily do some sort of like a blizzardy, windy sound. That's really easy.
With jingle bells superimposed.
Yeah, the jingle bells will also be easy to add. I have been trying to figure out like what the sort of tinkling sound is that
you know what you could do when
mind.
you fade out from that and we go into the actual show, you could have like a ho ho ho, just like very faint in the background, like Santa's like driving by.
Let me see if I can get that. Oh, ho, ho.
Yeah, but then make that,
that
like
good?
really faint in the background.
Okay. Was that good? Was that a
Yeah.
good take? Okay.
But obviously, you know, Leslie really secretly is a badass, which, again, surprise to no one.
Go ahead.
In the other episodes, when there was that, like, what's going on in Feather's mind, were you able to do the music for that?
Yes, I did do some music for that. I
Can we
didn't do
listen
exactly
to
what
that
you had
after
asked.
this?
Huh?
Can we listen to it after this?
Yeah.
Is it not the music from Aristocats?
No. Because I was worried about DMCA takedown notices. I used some music. It's not going to be exactly what you wanted, but I used some music from the Joy Drops.
Oh, listener, just so you know, I've been watching the new season of The Crown, so.
Oh yeah. We've also been watching a lot of Great British Bake Off.
And Merlin, which is also British.
There's a lot of
And
Brit
Sherlock.
stuff going on.
We've been
And Sherlock,
rewatching that
Jesus.
too.
Jesus, is The Crown BBC? No, it's Netflix.
It's Netflix, but it's
okay.
The Crown. I mean, like, how British can you get?
Yeah.
It's like The Real Housewives, but in Britain.